Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather. In this video I am going to be talking to you all about depression and give you some tips to help you heal with your depression. So just giving a little bit of background about me. I was diagnosed with depression. It was a few years ago. I am coming up on my 3-year depression free. 3 years of being depression free. So I'll get right into it. The first thing I'm going to share with you all, which I know can be cliche, but this one is very important. Get a therapist. Either get a therapist. It's not super hard. Comment down below, but it's not super hard to get a therapist now because I feel like there's been so much awareness to mental health and therapy and things like that. The key is finding a good therapist or a therapist that fits you. But I would say just get a therapist because they're trained. And for me, I was rock bottom. So like you need to be able to talk to someone. If you're unable to get a therapist, because sometimes it does take some time, talk to someone who you trust, which from my experience, I would like to say, like if you have hit rock bottom, a lot of times you don't trust people anyway. And so that's why I say talk to a therapist. The second thing is prayer. Prayer really helps. Prayer works. That's another cliche thing, but I feel like once you just try it. I think it's one of the things that people underestimate and they just don't believe. But if you pray, if you talk to God, just try it. You just gotta try it. You have to be consistent. Prayer is not something where you would just pull out of your pocket one day and just put in the pocket the next day. You have to be praying continuously throughout your day about everything. Third tip that I have is meditation. For me, meditation pretty much is the true thing that like truly made me feel better. It helped me to reprogram my mind so that I can start to think and feel differently, or mostly feeling, because that is what I struggled with a lot. It was more so my feelings. It helped me to feel better, and thereby by me feeling better, I was able to just in general feel better and then take better action steps to keep me feeling better, basically. So yeah, meditation is great. And pretty much, y'all, those are my 3 main tips. With those 3 things, I was able to come up out of my depression. Like I was not, like it was very, for me, and I'm not saying that it's going to be like that for everybody because everybody's situation is different and the way that they respond to things can be different. But for me, those 3 things, especially when I was in therapy, I started to meditate. I've always been a person who prays, but I had to change the way that I prayed, if that makes sense. So a lot of times when people are praying and they may feel like you're praying but you're still depressed, but you're not really trusting God with your emotions and you're not praying about the right things. So my whole life I've been praying, but I never talked to God about how I felt. And that is the key to why I remained in depression, because I was not honest. I didn't put everything in his hand. I only put certain things in his hand, and I was just going around thinking that I could do everything by myself, if that makes sense. So those are the three main things. I have other things that really helped me, because even after I came up out of my depression, that wasn't, you know, that wasn't all the work that had needed to be done. I'm going to do another video on either breaking down the different things that I did to heal my depression, and how I came out of what they say remission, because I actually received a diagnosis for it. So it's not just something where I'm like, oh, I'm depressed. You know, everybody throwing out that they're basically depressed. Like for me, I was actually diagnosed by a clinical psychologist saying that, you know, I was in depression. I have a diagnosis of depression. At that time, I actually was in, I believe it was like depression, partial remission. And if anybody has questions on what that, it was reoccurrent episode, partial remission. If anybody has any questions on, like, you know, what the actual diagnosis is and things like that, just leave a comment down below. And in my next video, I'll go over like specific details for each thing, like prayer, meditation, therapy. I might even talk about other major things where I truly started to see like shifts that didn't even, you coming out of depression is only the beginning. There's a lot of deep inner work and a lot of things that I had to learn about myself and that I had to change in order for me to truly like blossom into who I truly am. So if you like this video, please give me a like. If you have any questions, comment down below, and looking forward to seeing you all in my next video. Love you guys. Bye-bye.